everyone, how are you today? I hope you all are fine. Today we're going to do a presentation about global entrepreneurship and intrapreneurship. But before we start this presentation, let us introduce ourselves. We are from Group 4 and my name is Dinda Mandasari and my friends are Anis Susna Safira and Ravena Karisa. We are from Diplomatry of Office Administration, Jakarta State University 2020. Now we will read the first slide, and the first slide will be read by Ravena Karisa. Here we go.
Thank you, Dinda. Hello, my name is Ravena Karisa. I want to explain about entrepreneur and entrepreneurship. The first entrepreneurship. Entrepreneur is a French word that means to undertake. In the business world, the term applies to someone who wants to start a business or enterprise. Entrepreneurs are distinct for small business owner. In the entrepreneur often rely on innovation, new product, method, or market to grow their business quickly and boldly. Entrepreneurs are currently an adventurous group, but most seldom describe themselves as aggressive risk takers. More than they are passionate about an idea and carefully plan how to put into effect. The next, entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is defined as the regulation of opportunity, needs, wants, problem, and challenge, and the use or creation or research to implement innovation idea for new, thoughtfully planned venture. Entrepreneur is basically the spirit, attitude, behavior, and ability of a person in holding a business and or activity that leads to an effort to seek to create and implement new ways to working, technology, and product by increasing efficiency in order to provide better service and obtain maximum benefit. The next, entrepreneurs are currently an adventurous group. Most entrepreneurs are more comfortable with managed risks than with dangerous get-rich-quick schemes. The following 5 entrepreneurship methods are among the most prevalent. The first, entrepreneurs are born, not made. The most prevalent myth about entrepreneurs is they are born with the skill that will make them successful, and that anyone who not born with the skill will not success. In reality, entrepreneurism is a skill that, like an other skill, can be learned. The second, entrepreneur make more money. The typical entrepreneur earns less than he or she would earn if working as an employee. The third, being original is essential. Another entrepreneur myth is the entrepreneur who get to the market first gain the most. A success business and can determine the right market and always serve customer well. The fourth, it takes a lot of money to start a business. An entrepreneur who wants to start a business must have the capital of his business to be successful. Capital here does not mean only capital money, but also the skill possessed. And the last, entrepreneur must be risk takers. An entrepreneur must be good at taking risks for his business to progress and develop. The size of the risk depends on the size of the business being run. Risks must to be taken with careful thought with a variety of clear consideration. The next will be read. The next slide will be read by Vira.
Thank you, Ravena. Hello, I'm Anis Susna Safira. I will explain to you about what entrepreneurs do. Entrepreneurs build for-profit and non-profit ventures. The most well-known type of entrepreneurial venture is the for-profit or commercial venture which sells products or services for a profit. Three essential parts of the entrepreneurial process. The first is opportunity identification. Identification of business opportunities is the introduction of someone's knowledge of business opportunities, both business that are around them or those that are outside their area, or business that are known to those that are not yet known. How to identify existing business opportunities that can be solved, provided that you work hard and believe in that ability. Every entrepreneur actually has the opportunity to advance, to seek and take advantage of business opportunities. An entrepreneur must think positively and creatively. The second is plan and prepare the venture. To start a business requires careful planning so that the business can run well. Strategy and business planning are also useful so that business are carried out with the right objective, namely by making business descriptions, looking at marketing strategies to introduce products so that consumers are interested, must understand competition and the level of competition by means of SWOT analysis, make development design plans and cost calculations, how the funds work in order to be more efficient, plan and management so that the business can continue and be sustainable. And the last, resource the venture. Business resources can be categorized into 6 types of resource, namely 1. Man or human. Humans are the most important management element in achieving company goals. 2. Money. The size of the result of activities can be measured in terms of the amount of money measured in a company or industry. 3. Material or physical. Company managers strive to be able to obtain raw materials at the lowest price, using cheap and safe transportation. 4. Matching or technology. Matching have an important role in the production process after industrial events. 5. Methods. Work methods are needed so that work can run effectively and efficiently. And the last, market. Product marketing has a very important role because the goods produced do not sell in the market. The process of producing goods will stop. Next. The next slide is from entrepreneurship to born global firm. A born global firm, also commonly called a global startup, is a business organization that, from inception, seeks to derive significant competitive advantage from the use of resources and the sale of outputs in multiple countries. To enter the global market, of course, profit is one of the most significant reasons. The profit that is derived negatively by the cost of preparing to enter the global market and underestimation of cost and loss due to errors. The difference between the plain result and the actual result may be quite large in the first attempt to enter the global market. The physical and psychological closeness to international market has influenced several global entrepreneurs. Therefore, there are several things that motivate to enter the global market, such as profit, competitive pressure, unique products or service, excess production capacity, unique market opportunities, economies of scale, advantage in terms of technology, and taxes. The next slide will be read by Dinda Manda.
Okay, thank you, Anissa. Now I will explain to you about business entrepreneurship across borders. There are a number of factors that explain why the level of business entrepreneurship varies so much across countries. In 1776, Adam Smith argued in The Wealth of Nations that the free enterprise economic system, regardless of whether it's in the United States, Russia, or anywhere else in the world, encourages entrepreneurship because it permits individuals freedom to create and produce. These impressions have been edited by scholars and academics. Such a system makes it easier for entrepreneurs to acquire opportunity. Beyond describing local business practices, one of the key objectives of the Doing Business Project is to make it easier for entrepreneurship to flourish around the world. Considerable progress has been made each year in this regard, with 2010 being noted as a record year in regard to business regulation reform. Among the most populated countries, the World Bank suggests it's easiest to do business in the United States, United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, and Thailand. And the most difficult large countries are Venezuela, Angola, Cameroon, and Republic of the Congo. Next. The GCI ranks nations on a WAKE index of 12 assessed pillars: 1. Institutions, 2. Infrastructure, 3. Macroeconomic stability, 4. Health and primary education, 5. Higher education and training, 6. Good market efficiency, 7. Labor market efficiency, 8. Financial market sophistication and technological readiness, 10. Market size, 11. Business sophistication, and 12. Innovation. Next. From entrepreneurship to intrapreneurship. In 1992, for instance, the American Heritage Dictionary broke entrepreneurship and intrapreneur into the mainstream by adding intrapreneur to its dictionary, defining it as a person within a large corporation who takes direct responsibility for turning an idea into a profitable finished product through assertive risk-taking and innovation. In the early 1980s, G. Ford and Elizabeth Pincott were developing the concept of the intracorporate entrepreneur and coined the word intrapreneur. Under their model, a person wishing to develop an entrepreneurial project will initially have to raise something of value to themselves, a portion of their salary, for instance. The entrepreneur could then sell the complete project for both cash bonuses and intra-capital, which could be used to develop future projects. In summary then, an entrepreneur is someone who operates like an entrepreneur but has the backing of an organization. There are two approaches to entrepreneurship. First is the coexistence approach, and 2, the structural separation approach. And next is the conclusion. The conclusion will be read by Ravena Karisa.
The result of our group material are: to be successful in entrepreneurship and intrapreneurship requires a good strategy, no idea, courage in action, and question against existing risks. An entrepreneur must be able to see the opportunities that existing to come be a business. Then innovation to follow the development of the world. Taking advantage of technology advance is very important to development a business. Therefore, an entrepreneur and intrapreneurship is required to always follow the development of existing technology.
Okay, so that's all about global entrepreneurship and intrapreneurship. We apologize if there's a mistake during the presentation, and thanks for watching.